is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomatic, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations. Its preparations are concealed, not published. Its mistakes are buried, not headlined. Its dissenters are silenced, not praised. No expenditure is questioned, no rumor is printed, no secret is revealed. No president should fear public scrutiny of his program, for from that scrutiny comes understanding, and from that understanding comes support or opposition, and both are necessary. I am not asking your newspapers to support an administration, but I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people. For I have complete confidence.
Esta disposición nueva de un continente de América está plasmada y resumida en el grito que día a día nuestras masas proclaman como expresión irrefutable de su decisión de lucha, paralizando la mano armada del invasor. Proclama que cuenta con la comprensión y el apoyo de todos los pueblos del mundo y especialmente del campo socialista encabezado por la Unión Soviética. Esa proclama es patria o muerte.
Every country's had a violent revolution for one reason or the other. Not one of them has the freedom we're all talking about. So we're saying give peace a chance, you know, like nobody's ever done it before. And it's not a matter of, we're not thinking in terms of 10 years, we're thinking in terms of peace forever, you know. And everybody's talking about now. I want peace now. We can get peace now if we want it now. And the left wing talk about giving the power to the people, you know. Anybody knows that the people have the power. All we have to do is awaken the power in the people. The people are unaware. It's like they're not educated to realize that they have power. They put the politicians in power. They vote for the local mayor. The people do it. But the system is so geared that everybody believes that just the father will fix everything. The father being the government. Government will fix everything. It is all government's fault. You know, shake a fist at the government. Well, we are the government. The people are the government, and the people have the power, but we must try and make them aware of it.
You were saying that in America they're so serious about the protest movement.
Yes, they are.
But they were so flippant that they were singing a happy-go-lucky song, which happens to be one I wrote. And I'm glad they sang it. And when I get there, I'll sing it with them, when I get in. And that was a message from me to America or to anywhere, that I used my songwriting ability to write a song that we could all sing together. And I'm proud that they sang it at the moratorium. I wouldn't have cared if they'd sang We Shall Overcome, but it just so happens they sang that, and I'm proud of it. And I'll be glad to go there and sing with them.
And that's when God make you punish, when God punishes you. Because I feel like, you know, it's too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for 36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic, that's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1,000,000 billion and then there's people starving. There's no way. There's no way that these people should own planes and their people don't have houses, apartments, shacks, drawers, pants. I know you're rich. I know you got $40 billion, but can you just keep it to one house? You only need one house. And if you only got 2 kids, can you just keep it to 2 rooms? I mean, why have 52 rooms and you know there's somebody with no room? It just don't make sense to me. It don't. And then these people celebrate Christmas. They got big trees, huge trees, all the little trimmings. Everybody got gifts, and then somebody's starving. And they're having a white Christmas. They're having a great Christmas, eggnog and the whole nine. That's not fair to me. I think that when there's hopelessness, people revolt. Because it's like there's nothing that's like, you know, it's like we're going, is America going to help us ever? You know, because, I mean, we know for a long time they haven't. Are they ever? And it's like all these things are showing us no. And you know there's somebody going, no, they're not going to help you. No, they're not going to help you. And then, of course, we seeing, no, they're not helping us. It all comes down to we got to survive. We got to survive here in this country. Because I'm not going back to Africa. We got to survive here. And for us to survive here, white folks, black folks, Korean folks, Mexican folks, Puerto Ricans, we got to understand each other. We got to take a bigger chance. And when I say Americans, people think I'm talking about Uncle Sam. I mean, like, actually Uncle Sam with the gray hair and the flag. I mean you, the guy, you know, you, the mechanic, wherever, you. I mean, you need to do something.
We're interrupting programmes to tell you that Diana, Princess of Wales, is gravely ill in intensive care.
As with the media attention came a lot of jealousy.
They have murdered my son and Princess Diana. I put my finger straight to the gangster who ruling the country behind the scene, who is the head of the royal household, Prince Philip.
When I used to sit on hospital beds and hold people's hands, people used to be sort of shocked because they said they'd never seen this before. And to me, it was quite a normal thing to do. And when I saw the reassurance an action like that gave, I did it everywhere.
لقد جئتكم يا سيادة الرئيس بغصن الزيتون في يدي وببندقية الثائر في يدي فلا تسقط الغصن الأخضر من يدي لا تسقط الغصن الأخضر من يدي
لا تسقط الغصن الأخضر من يدي
لا تسقط الغصن الأخضر من يدي.
In November 1974, Yasser Arafat received a standing ovation at the General Assembly of the United Nations. He had spoken of a peaceful solution to Palestinian demands for a homeland. For the guerrilla leader, standing among statesmen, it was a crowning achievement.
حضرة القاضي، نعم، أنا عندما أتكلم ترى أنا أخوك بمعنى أخو العراق، أخو الأمة. عند الإعدام وقدرت أي عراقي. ما خاف من الإعدام ولا خاف من ما بالكون فتعرفوني. ما حد يشرح تاريخي من 59 إلى اليوم. فأنا أدري هنالك ضغط عليك.
هل عندك سؤال محدد؟
نعم راح أسأل. وأنا خدمتكم 30 سنة.
نحن أمام قضية جنائية. إذا عندك أسئلة أو مداخلة في هذا الموضوع.
طيني مجال لا تقاطع عن نفسي. أنا دافع عنكم. يسمح له يدخل فايلات لكن صدام حسين يكتب الشيء اللي يريد يتذكره حتى يوصلوا للقضاء على يده.
Mr. Haider was driving home alone when his car skidded out of control after overtaking another vehicle. It hit a concrete barrier and rolled over several times. Mr. Haider suffered severe injuries to his head and chest. The driver of the other car alerted the emergency services, but Mr. Haider was pronounced dead on arrival at the local hospital. He'd been on his way to celebrate his mother's 90th birthday this weekend. Police have been carrying out investigations at the site of the crash amidst the wreckage of the badly mangled car. Many Austrians are shocked at the death of the man who both dominated and polarised Austrian politics. The General Secretary of Mr. Haider's party, the Alliance for the Future of Austria, said his death was like the end of the world for his supporters.
They made and created so much joy for the world. And the system, meaning the record companies, totally took advantage of it. But this is very important, what we're fighting for. Because I'm tired, I'm really, really tired of the manipulation. I'm tired of how the press is manipulating everything that's been happening in this situation. They do not tell the truth, they're liars. And they manipulate our history books. The history books are not true. It's a lie. The history books are lying. You need to know that. You must know that.
لما تكلموا عن حدود 67 يعني هذه حقيقة شيء مذهل جدا جدا. وين القضية اللي قبل 67؟ كنا نكذب على أنفسنا ولا نكذب على العالم؟ آلاف الشهداء سقطوا قبل 67 من أجل من؟ كيف تقولون أن فلسطين احتلت عام 67 وعودوا إلى حدود 67؟ هي فلسطين الضفة الغربية وقطاع غزة. زين؟ إذا كانت هكذا هذه ما احتلوها الإسرائيليين عام 48 تركوها لكم 20 سنة. لماذا ما عملتوا فيها دولة فلسطينية؟
نحن نقول له يا أخي الأسود والأبيض في أمريكا متساويين كلهم مهاجرين. أمريكا ليست للبيض ولا للسود، أمريكا للهنود والحمر سكانها الأصليين. جاء الأبيض وجاء الأسود، إذا الأبيض والأسود في أمريكا متساويين. ومن حق أوباما أن يرفع راسه ويقول أنا شريك في أمريكا. أمريكا أرضي مثل ما أرضكم أنتم، إذا كان ما يش أرضكم ما يش أرضي حتى أنتم ليست أرضكم، أرض الهنود والحمر. أنتم مهاجرون نحن مهاجرون. لكن ما زلنا احنا نامل أن الأسود هذا يكون معتز بإفريقيته وبإسلامه وبعقيدته وأنه صاحب حق في أمريكا وأن يغير أمريكا من الشر إلى الخير وأن تقيم العلاقات اللي تخدم أمريكا مع الشعوب الأخرى خاصة مع العرب.
Ms. Rivers, how are you? You made a ton of news officiating the wedding in New York yesterday. Is this like a new cottage career move for you?
I am so excited.
Okay.
And I should do very well because I don't charge.
And do you think that the United States will see the first gay president or the first woman president?
We already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
Got it.
You know Michelle is a
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh. It's okay. She does the...
There is something you said that upset and scared a lot of people. It upset a lot of Jews in the United States and around the world when you called the Holocaust a myth. There are people, some people I know, who escaped Hitler's reign. There is research, there are scholars who can teach you about it, and yet you've expressed doubt about the Holocaust. Why?
I've asked 2 or 3 clear questions on this. You know that I belong to the university. I'm an academician. I'm interested in having a scientific approach to all events. So I raised 2 or 3 questions. The first question was, in the First World War, over 60 in the Second World War, over 60 million people lost their lives. They were all human beings. Why is it that only a select group of those who were killed have become so prominent and important?
Because of the difference humankind draws between warfare and genocide.
قتل حجیم عمدی
شما فکر می‌کنید
نسل کشی.
60 میلیون نفر کشته شدن همه نظامی بودن؟
Do you think that the 60 million who lost their lives were all as a result of warfare alone?
2 میلیون نظامی بودن.
There were 2 million that were part of the military at the time, perhaps
58
altogether.
میلیون مردم عادی بودن.
58 million civilians
نقشی در جنگ نداشتن.
with no roles in the war.
مسیحی بودن، مسلمان بودن، کشته
Christians,
شدن.
Muslims, they were all killed.
اما سوال دوم و مهمتر اینه.
The second and more important question that I raised was,
اگر چنین چیزی اتفاق افتاده و یک واقعه تاریخی است، چرا اجازه نمیدن دانشمندان راجع به اون تحقیق کنن؟
if this event happened and if it is a historical event, then we should allow everyone to research it and study it.
خب اگر یه واقعیت باشه، هرچی تحقیقات بیشتر بشه، شفافتر میشه.
The more research and studies are done, the more we can become aware of the realities that happened.
ما الان اجازه میدیم راجع به قوانین مسلم فیزیکی و ریاضی هم باز تحقیق انجام بشه.
We still leave open to further studies absolute knowledge of science or math.
حوادث تاریخی که همیشه در معرض تحقیق هستن.
Historical events are always subject to revisions and reviews and studies.
ما داریم درباره تاریخ بشر 7000 سال قبل پی در پی تحقیق میکنیم.
We're still revising our thoughts about what happened over thousands of years ago.
چرا محققان زندانی میشن؟
Why is it that those who ask questions are persecuted?
چرا تحقیق و سوال درباره این مسئله ممنوعه؟
Why such sensitivity or such prohibition on further studies on the subject?
در حالی که راجع به خدا، راجع به پیامبران، راجع به آزادی، راجع به دموکراسی میشه سوال کرد.
Whereas we can openly question God, the prophets, concepts such as freedom and democracy.
و سوال آخر
And
این
the
که
third question that I raised in
اگر
this
چنین
regard,
چیزی اتفاق افتاده،
if this happened,
در کجا اتفاق افتاده؟
where did it happen?
مردم فلسطین چه نقشی در اون داشتن؟
Had the Palestinian people had anything to do with it?
چرا فلسطینی ها باید خسارت بپردازن؟
Why should the Palestinians pay for it now?
5 میلیون آواره
5 million displaced Palestinian people is what I'm talking about.
60 سال تهدید
Over 60 years of living under threat,
هزاران نفر کشته
losing the lives of thousands of dear ones,
و خونه ها بر سر مردم روزانه تخریب میشه.
and homes that are destroyed on a daily basis over people's heads.
ممکنه شما بگید یهودی ها حق دارن یه دولت داشته باشه.
You might argue that the Jews have the right to have a government.
ما مخالف نیستیم.
We're not against that.
اما در کجا؟
But where?
باید برن یه جایی که مردمشون بپذیرن، به اینا رأی بدن، دولت بزن.
At a place where their people will accept, where people will vote for them, and where they can govern.
نه با آواره کردن یه ملت.
Not at the cost of displacing a whole nation
و با اشغال یک سرزمین.
and occupying a whole territory.
Is that a change in your position that Israel should be wiped away? And second, would you ever be willing to sit down with Jews, with scholars, with survivors of Hitler's camps where 6 million died? Our American film director, Steven Spielberg, is one of many, collecting the stories of those still alive who will tell you of the dead and the program to kill the Jews in Germany and elsewhere.
من احساس میکنم یک نوع فرار از حقیقت وجود داره.
I feel that there is a feeling of a need to escape the truth here.
در دولت مردان آمریکا
Among American
و
politicians,
برخی از رسانه‌های آمریکایی.
as well as some media here.
سوال اصلی این است.
The main question is,
اگر در اروپا چنین اتفاقی افتاده، مردم فلسطین چه گناهی کردند؟
the main question is, if this happened in Europe, what is the fault of the Palestinian people?
مشکل امروز این است، نه حادثه 60 سال قبل.
This is the problem we have today, the root cause of many of our problems, not what happened 60 years ago.
مردم فلسطین امروز به بهانه هولوکاست سرکوب میشن.
The Palestinian people, their lives are being destroyed today under the pretext of the Holocaust.
سرزمینشون غصب شده.
Their lands have been occupied,
اونا چه گناهی کردن؟
usurped. What is their fault? What are they to be
انسان
blamed
نیستن؟
for? Are they not human beings?
اونا حق ندارن؟
Do they have no rights?
اونا چه نقشی در هولوکاست داشتن؟
What role did they play in the Holocaust?
بعضی‌ها موضوع رو عوض میکنن.
Some tend to sort of change the subject a
فرض
bit.
من روز اول هم گفتم فرض کنیم چنین اتفاقی افتاده است.
From the first day I said, well, assuming that the Holocaust happened.
چه ربطی به مردم فلسطین داره؟
Then again, what does it have to do with the Palestinian people?
باور کنید مردم فلسطین هم انسانن.
Not at all. Nothing.
احساس دارن.
Believe me, Palestinian people are human beings. They have feelings.
اونها هم دوست دارن در سرزمین خودشون زندگی کنن.
They like to live in their own
حق
lands.
تعیین سرنوشت داشته باشن.
To have the right to self-determination.
خونه‌هاشون در امان باشن.
To feel secure in their homes.
بچه‌های کوچیک کشته نشن.
So that their small kids are not killed.
زنها از داخل خانه‌هاشون به اسارت نرن.
So that women are not taken from their own homes,
آینده این اقدامات چه خواهد بود؟
What is the future of such measures?
هذه الكرامة هي أغلى ما يملكه الشعب السوري. كرامتنا أقوى من جيوشهم وكرامتنا أغلى من ثرواتهم. لا نريد أن يكون ثمن مكافحة الإرهاب دماء الأبرياء، ولكن المشكلة أنهم بدأوا بضرب الأبرياء الآن. فليس السوري من يبيع شرفه وعرضه مقابل المال. سوريا مرت بظروف أصعب بكثير، حتى أمنيا كانت ظروف أصعب بكثير وتفوقنا عليها وانتصرنا. عندما لا نستجيب للتحدي لا نستحق اسم سوريا. نجرؤ أو لا نستطيع أن ندافع عنها ونهزم الأعداء فنحن لا نستحق أن نعيش على ترابها.
Мы никогда не забудем того, как мы помогали Соединенным Штатам в обретении независимости. Мы никогда не забудем нашего сотрудничества и союзничества в Первую и во Вторую мировую войну. И я полагаю, что глубинные стратегические интересы американского народа, российского народа во многом совпадают. И нужно опираться вот на эти взаимные интересы.
Jonas brothers are here. They're out there somewhere. Sasha and Malia are huge fans, but boys don't get any ideas. I have 2 words for you: predator drones. You will never see it coming. You think I'm joking?